Open your wardrobe for 1 second. Not to choose anything. Just look at it like an archaeologist who has never seen clothes before. A shirt, a hoodie, socks, a jacket you only wear when it gets cold. Maybe something you wear to look professional. Maybe something you wear to look cool. Maybe something you only wear because society would panic if you walked outside without it. Now here's the weird part. For most animals, this whole wardrobe situation would be insane. A tiger does not wake up and think, I need trousers today. A bird does not check the weather and put on a coat. A bear does not have a separate outfit for winter. Their bodies are already the outfit. Fur, feathers, scales, thick skin. Nature already dressed them. But humans? We are the animal that has to get dressed before leaving the house. So when did that start? When did one of our ancestors look at a piece of animal skin, wrap it around their body, and accidentally invent one of the most powerful technologies in human history? And here's the part that feels backwards. You might think clothing began with shame, or modesty, or fashion, or someone looking down and thinking, this is awkward. But no. Before we talk about clothes, we need to talk about sweat. And before this video ends, the thing you are wearing right now should feel much stranger than it did at the start. Because the story of clothing begins with a strange fact about humans. We are weirdly naked. Compared with other primates, we are basically exposed skin with a small amount of decoration on top. And that was probably not an accident. At some point in our deep past, our ancestors became walkers, then long-distance walkers, then long-distance movers across hot, open landscapes. Imagine an ancient human under the sun. No car, no cold drink, no air conditioning, no shade every few steps. Just heat, dust, distance, and a body that has to keep going. Fur is useful if you want to stay warm, but if you want to dump heat while moving for hours, fur becomes a problem. It traps heat. It blocks sweat. It turns your body into a walking blanket. So humans made a trade. We lost most of the thick body hair, and in return, we became one of the strangest cooling machines on Earth. We sweat. Not just a little, a lot. A horse can run faster than you. A dog can sprint faster than you. A deer can vanish before your brain even understands what happened. But many animals overheat when they move for too long. Humans can keep going. Sweating, cooling, walking, tracking, following. Our mostly naked skin helped us survive heat, but it created a new problem. The same body that works brilliantly under a hot sun becomes terrible in the cold. Take away fur, and suddenly the night matters. Rain matters, wind matters, winter matters. The thing that helped humans survive one environment made them vulnerable in another. So before humans invented clothing, humans first invented a problem. We became the naked ape, and then we had to solve our own nakedness. At first, clothing probably was not clothing the way you think of it. No shirts, no buttons, no pockets, no tiny labels scratching the back of your neck all day. It was probably animal skin, fur, hide, maybe plant fiber, wrapped around shoulders, thrown over the body, tied with strips of leather, sinew, or cord. Not fashion, survival, a portable shelter, a way to carry warmth with you. And this is where the story gets annoying for archaeologists. Clothing almost never survives. Skin rots, plant fiber rots, thread rots, leather rots. A shirt from 100,000 years ago does not politely sit in the ground waiting to be discovered. Stone tools survive, bones survive, teeth survive, clothes disappear. So if the first clothing is mostly gone, how do we know when humans started wearing it? This is the surprise. We asked the lice? Yes. Lice. Tiny parasites. Annoying for humans, weirdly useful for scientists. Because there are head lice, and there are clothing lice. Head lice live in hair. Clothing lice live in clothing. They hide in seams. They lay eggs in fabric. They need clothes to exist. So scientists realize something clever. If clothing lice evolved from head lice, then the moment those populations split can give us a clue. Not a perfect timestamp. Not the birth certificate of the first hoodie. but a biological shadow of when humans were wearing clothes, often enough for a new parasite lifestyle to move in. And the estimate is older than most people expect. Research on clothing lice suggests humans may have been wearing clothes by roughly 170,000 years ago, though estimates vary. Think about that. The first clue to clothing might not be a needle. It might not be a cave painting. It might be an insect that moved house, from your head to your shirt. That is disgusting. And also kind of incredible. Because if those estimates are even close, clothing is not some recent decoration. It is ancient. Older than farming, older than cities, older than writing, older than money, older than almost everything we usually call civilization. Before humans built temples, they were already carrying warmth on their backs. And clothing changed what kind of animal we could be. Without clothes, cold places are locked. A mostly naked human body can survive in a hot landscape. But try walking into Ice Age Europe like that. You do not become a legendary hunter. You become a frozen warning sign. Clothing helped humans move into places our skin was not built for. Cold valleys, windy plains, snowy landscapes, long winters. A fur covering was not just comfort, it was technology. The first warm outfit was as important as the first spear. Maybe more important. A spear helps you catch one animal. Clothing lets you live in an entirely new world. But once humans had clothes, the next problem was making them better. A wrapped hide is useful, but it is clumsy. It slips, it gaps, it lets cold air in. It does not move with your body. So humans started cutting, piercing, tying, sewing. And that is where the needle enters the story. A tiny object that does not look dramatic at all. Just a small piece of bone, sharpened at one end with a hole for thread. But that hole changed everything. Because once you can sew, clothing stops being just a skin thrown over you. It becomes fitted. Sleeves, leggings, shoes, mittens, hoods. Suddenly, warmth is not just wrapped around the body, it is engineered around the body. Imagine trying to survive a freezing landscape without a needle. You can have fire, you can have a cave, you can have meat. But if you cannot keep heat close to your skin while you travel, you are trapped near shelter. Sewing gave humans mobility in the cold. It let people carry home on their bodies. And then comes the next twist. Clothing did not stay practical for long, because humans never leave anything alone. The moment something keeps us alive, we turn it into meaning. A coat is not just a coat. It tells people where you belong, what you do, how much power you have, whether you are mourning, whether you are celebrating, whether you are working, whether you are trying to blend in, whether you are trying very hard to look like you did not try. And this probably goes back far deeper than modern fashion. Archaeologists have found ancient flax fibers from a cave in Georgia that were spun, knotted, and even dyed. That matters, because dye is extra work. You do not need color to stay warm. You do not need decoration to keep the rain off. But humans did it anyway, because clothing became a message. Not just, I am warm, but I am someone. Maybe decorated clothing said, I belong to this group. Maybe it said, I survived this hunt. Maybe it said, I am ready for a ceremony. Maybe it said, look at me. And honestly, that part has not changed at all. Look at what people wear today. A suit tells a room one thing. A hoodie tells it another. A school uniform tells people where you belong. A wedding dress turns fabric into a promise. A black outfit can mean grief, elegance, rebellion, or I was too tired to choose colors. Even modern trends are just a faster version of the same old signal. One week, everyone wants clean and simple. The next week, everyone wants loud and oversized. Then vintage comes back. Then the old thing becomes new again. The shapes change, the colors change, the apps change. But the human behavior underneath is ancient. We use clothing to say something before we speak. So pause for 1 second and think about what you wore today. Was it chosen for comfort, for work, for school, for confidence, for someone else to notice, or because it was the cleanest thing left on the chair? Either way, you were not just getting dressed. You were speaking an ancient language, a language made of cloth. And it gets even deeper, because clothing also changed how humans saw the body. The more we covered ourselves, the more the uncovered body became meaningful, private, special, embarrassing, powerful, sacred, forbidden. Clothing did not just hide the body, it created a new kind of attention around it. That might be one reason clothes feel so normal now. They are not just protection from weather. They are part of how humans understand being human. Take away clothes, and people do not just feel cold. They feel exposed. Not because skin is unnatural, but because culture has wrapped itself around the body for tens of thousands of years. That is the strange thing. Clothing began as survival technology, but it became identity technology, a way to survive the cold, then a way to survive society. And now, thousands of years later, you stand in front of a wardrobe acting like the choice is casual. But it is not casual. You are doing something ancient. You are choosing a costume for the day. Not a fake costume, a real one. The version of yourself the world is allowed to see. And the funniest part? The whole story may have started because a sweaty, mostly hairless ape got cold, then wrapped itself in skin, fur, and fiber, then accidentally created one of the most powerful technologies in human history. A technology so normal we forget it is technology. So the next time you put on a hoodie, remember this. You are not just wearing fabric. You are wearing a solution to a problem evolution created. You are wearing portable shelter, ancient survival, social signal, personal identity. And maybe, somewhere in the seams, the ghost of a tiny parasite that helped scientists figure out when this whole thing began. Humans did not start wearing clothes because we were fancy. We started wearing clothes because our bodies were vulnerable. And then we did the most human thing possible. We turned survival into style. So before you leave, look at what you are wearing right now. What does it say about you? Comment the one clothing item you wear the most, and I will see you in the next Doodlore.